Well, hello. Welcome to the show. We call it the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
That's Isaiah. Nikki was before that, and I'm Hudson.
Hopefully you guys know by now, but if not, welcome to the podcast today.
Where we talk about who knows what, and you listen for some reason.
That's right.
We still haven't figured that part out yet.
Well, take a listen to our offerings today, because hopefully you're like, yeah, that sounds great. Or you're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
But you'll listen anyways.
Well, you listen to us eating donuts, and for some reason that appeals to some people.
You guys enjoy it.
You could also watch us eating donuts. Today we sampled the Krispy Kreme Maple Lovers Donuts.
Yep.
So that's in the podcast, but there's also video on the RadioU RIOT Facebook page.
Yeah, if you don't mind following us there. And in case you're like, but you tried the glazed donuts last week, that was the apple ones.
Yeah.
This is the maple.
These are the maple,
glazed,
and they were much better.
And we tried those today.
I don't know if they'd say much better. They were different, yes.
Different in a better way.
Well, let's, not argue over that. And we'll let you guys enjoy a couple other options that you'll hear during this podcast.
Yeah, we talked about something that I thought was popular like years and years and years, or not even popular, just something that people would do when they were like little, which was like gleeking. And
Wait, that was a thing for you?
Yeah. When I was
do you know how to do it?
I can't do it.
You can't?
No,
Okay.
I can't do it, but
Have you
everybody
tried?
can do it. Like, you've all probably done it, but like whenever it's been for me, it's been like accidentally.
Yeah. Accidentally spitting on someone.
Accidentally, you accidentally
Yeah, like you accidentally do it, and then you're like, "What the heck just happened to me?" But yeah, that was like, I thought that was popular like years and years and years, like when I was probably in like elementary school.
Wow.
So a long time ago.
You were ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I know, right? I was the one who like started it, I guess,
I
right?
guess, yeah. The starter
You
of the
should do it
trend.
on TikTok so
But
you
I
can
haven't
get some
seen,
followers.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on TikTok, but it apparently is
Yeah.
back.
Well,
Gleeking is back.
Find out what gleeking is.
We
coming
explain
up
what
next.
it is because we didn't know.
Yeah.
Now, and then also a tiny town lost one of their most popular things in the
Their
entire
prized
town.
possession. Yeah.
And they're very upset about it, which I would be too.
Yeah, and so we talk a little bit about the town, but more about the town lost their phone booth, and so we talked more about movies the phone booths in them.
Yeah.
We had a
Why
long
not?
discussion about
And
that.
the town's like, guys, this is really traumatic. You're like,
Yeah,
but
this
what
is
movies
serious.
from like 20, 30 years ago
Yeah.
have a phone booth in them?
Yeah, well, we just need to be reminded what they look like.
I know, right?
We also talk about people in the UK, so they don't want to go back to work because they're worried about using the bathroom.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to get into the workforce in the first place.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's why I thought of other ideas of employment and
Working from home?
Well, this is about as close as I can get to working from home.
Outside of if you have such an issue and you're working from the toilet itself, like
Yeah.
you make your office in the bathroom, I don't know. You're going to have to listen to this and see if this is a fear of yours.
We never ask about it, but there could be like the reverse effect where some people, maybe they're very much more comfortable going to the bathroom at work because they feel it's more private, and then they're at home with other people around that they are related to or married to or whatever, and it's just like, I don't want to go to the bathroom here.
Oh my gosh.
So they really are anxious to get back to the office. They can finally, after 18 months, go to the bathroom in peace again.
Oh, that's it. I'm not saying if the person still works here or do they, but there is someone here when they have their like trades magazine and stuff. You could just tell and they always say it's a trip to the library.
Oh my gosh.
You're just like, well, how long is that going to be?
Oh my gosh.
The like going to the bathroom at like work isn't like that much of like a fear of mine, but I hate going into like a building where I know I'm just using the restroom. Like, I'm not gonna buy anything, or I'm not like, if I go like to Wendy's or if I'm stopping a car trip and I'm like, I'm not gonna buy any food, I'm just going in there to use the restroom.
Yeah.
But it always like makes me so anxious. I'm
Really?
like, I didn't buy anything, but I'm leaving now. Like, just going in there.
The
and
Starbucks employee is going to chase you down.
Yeah, I'd be like, you didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
Get back in here.
You walk in, you're like, I'm just going to go walk down this hallway.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, it's like one of the many things that like I get anxious about that's like has no real life
Right.
Yeah.
relevance
Reason.
whatsoever.
The employees at those restaurants and whatever are no more anxious to talk to you about going to the bathroom and you not buying anything than you are
They
to
get
them.
paid no matter what, so they're probably
Exactly.
glad
Yeah.
they're not coming in ordering food because then they don't have to do anything.
Like,
long as
he's just using the restroom, everybody. We're good. We're good. We're good.
As long as you don't make a mess in there, they have to clean
They're
up.
fine. Then you don't have to order food and they don't have to make your food.
Exactly.
Well, I guess that's the podcast then.
Enjoy the podcast. Make sure you are subscribed if you're on our Facebook page listening at RadioU Riot or our YouTube channel. You can check out our podcast each day there. Or however you listen, make sure you like and subscribe.
And write a really, really, really nice review for us.
Perfect.
We love it. It is
Bye,
the Riot.
guys.
Bye.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Nikki is our resident TikToker. She's always on it, constantly.
Now, I think that's a bit of a exaggeration right there.
You said you watch it for hours a night.
No, not really.
You said that.
No, I think you
An
heard
hour?
that. I would say maybe 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the night.
That's like 15 to 45 TikToks.
That's like one show. Meaning somebody else will sit down and watch a show for a bit or a movie.
guess.
So I'm clocking in, I think, under most people.
You can only get so much culture from one show, but on TikTok, if you're on there for 45 minutes, that's like 45 different cultures.
Exactly.
You can experience. So have you
and
experienced?
most of it's worthless.
Well, have you experienced this one then? Gleeking.
I saw that you put it there, but I've not heard of it before.
Really?
Is it like from that old show Glee? Or
No, it is not.
is it a chorus thing or
It
a?
has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
I don't think this would. It does tie in with the mouth, but I don't think it would help you with singing. It is a thing that some people can do. Supposedly, anybody can do it if they try.
Yeah.
And that is, you lift your tongue and you shoot saliva out from under your tongue
Oh, we can
in
do
a little
that?
stream. Yeah, you can do it.
Oh no,
That's gleeking.
I think I would have found out
Why
by
don't
now.
you? Oh no, have you tried?
I don't think I have.
Have you tried to gleek?
Are you supposed to squeeze it yourself,
Oh,
or
no.
it'll just come out?
Nobody. What do you want somebody to gleek for you?
No,
You don't
no,
have to
nope.
Put,
I just meant.
put their fingers in your mouth and
Do I
milk
have
your
to?
tongue?
No. Okay, now it's even worse. They say it's the saliva glands, and they're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
But it's basically built up saliva, and it forces the saliva out.
It's actually it answers a question you didn't realize you needed to ask, and that is, where does all that saliva come from? And
there's a hole under your tongue.
there's holes under your tongue you didn't even know about.
Ew.
And so if you try really hard, so I guess some people maybe can just do this naturally or something, but like without practice.
Did you try it?
No, I don't want to do it because I don't want to make a mess.
Well,
But I'm
mean,
so curious to know if I can.
First off, is it that much to where we're talking about a mess?
Watch the TikToks. It's getting everywhere.
Get everywhere.
I mean,
we'll go do it in the
do you want
bathroom.
any saliva anywhere around that's
gosh.
not in my mouth?
Can you imagine? I'd be walking like from the break room, be like, "Hey, someone spilled water." Like halfway through, like, "No,
There's
that's
just
my
a
saliva."
stream, a trail of saliva.
They are so gross.
I know. Why? I don't know why you would show this off. I mean, I guess for the TikTok likes, but it is disgusting actually to watch. I just think the tongue is weird. Isn't it weird that we have tongues?
Maybe not everybody can. Well, I feel like not everybody can do it, even though you say that.
I mean, that's what the
can.
doctor says.
Gross. All right. Well, so it's
Something to try.
It's gleeking.
Yeah. So
You're leaking. Your gland is leaking.
that makes sense.
That's where the word
even though it's not
is.
spelled like that.
Well, close
it makes
enough.
sense. Yeah, maybe in the UK or something. That's how
This
they
is
spell it.
something to try when no one's around.
Yeah,
That way, no
and,
one knows if you're doing it.
Put some towels down or something because you. I see you moving your tongue around like can I do it? You're just trying to keep it in your mouth?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to know. There's some things that you don't need to know if your body does or does not do.
Especially when it's this and it won't benefit you in really any meaningful way.
They say there's nothing harmful about it.
Yeah.
So like if your tongue
It's not bad.
can shoot saliva out of the little hole underneath
it can.
then you're fine. It's just something it does.
Yeah. What could you possibly get this What could you do with this that would get you anywhere in life?
This is a party trick.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
But if anybody can do it.
I don't think we...
And also, this is going to be a gross party. Like, what if it gets in somebody's eye or something? Come on.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
This is great news. We've been drinking coffee all wrong.
We've been doing it wrong?
Yeah.
Does that mean we're drinking it wrong or are we making it wrong?
No, we're drinking it wrong.
Too fast?
Yeah, too much.
Too much creamer?
we're just
enough
doing it all
coffee.
wrong. But at least the good news is we're not drinking. It's not bad for us. Or actually, no, it's not bad that we're drinking coffee. It's just bad when we're drinking it, according to Dr. Karen Raj. He is a National Health Service surgeon in the UK, and he's been making the rounds telling people that you're not supposed to drink coffee when you first wake up.
Oh, you're not supposed to?
Yeah.
Okay, we've heard that the other way.
What,
like
that
many
you need
times.
the sooner you drink the coffee, the better?
Well, yeah, they always say like that's fine to go ahead and have in the morning, just a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people just drink a little coffee, but they won't have any food for a while.
Well, according to him, you're not supposed to drink coffee until after 9.
9 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, 9 in the morning is different for us.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if this is just based off of when people generally wake up, but he makes it sound like between 8 and 9, because it's all about he says your body should wake up naturally.
Sure.
And to wake up naturally, it needs to produce cortisol.
Oh, and not coffee.
Yeah, not caffeine.
Coffee-sol?
Yeah, coffee sol. So he says that your body produces the most cortisol between 8 and 9 a.m. So that helps you get up and get started for your day.
Yeah, but
so that you're not supposed to let the coffee interrupt that.
That's not our schedule, though.
No,
we can
this is
still
totally
drink
different.
it earlier because we
Yeah,
get
but
up.
nobody's schedule is waking up between 8 and 9. You know?
Well, maybe. I mean, now, especially if people still don't go to work. I mean, you go to work, but you don't.
Yeah, but what about school?
You're at work.
You got to get your coffee in before you get to school or
You're
class or whatever. And for everybody who's working, I mean, I'm sure, I guess there's a few, but man, that'd be a very late start to your day if you're not even waking up till 8.
They say save your coffee until mid-morning when your levels and your are a certain way and your energy levels dip, that first kind of morning dip. So then the caffeine will be more effective. It'll work better.
So you think you're calling into question the doctor.
No,
the
I'm
doc.
calling into question his saying 8 to 9 a.m. would be like us saying our 6 to 7 a.m.
You think?
We just get up so much earlier that our cortisol levels are dipping way earlier.
Well, they're all out of whack. I think.
We are not going to be your test subject because it is our schedule's different.
Yeah, I wish that he could give this. I mean, he said specifically 8 and 9, so I wonder if it's like a when the sun comes up type of thing
Maybe.
or what. Because, nobody has we don't all have the same sleep schedule, even if you discount our really ridiculous one. Nobody else, it's just everybody has something different.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it based off of cortisol levels, is it like an hour after you get out of bed? Or is it specifically between 8 and 9 when your body needs to make that cortisol and you can't drink coffee till after 9?
Do what's right for us.
Yeah.
John just texted in, said cortisol is a stress chemical. Sounds like he wants us to hate our jobs. Hey, you're right. It does sound like that's more stressful.
I don't know. He's a national
wrong.
health. Yeah, he's wrong.
And William says, I go to bed around 9 a.m. That's a horrible time for me to drink coffee.
that would be bad. You don't want to do that before you get into
Not to be like
bed.
the typical thing, but this Dr. Karen guy sounds like a real Karen.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There you go.
You know what else he says?
What?
You're not supposed to you're not supposed to hit the snooze button. We've heard that a million times before.
What a monster.
I know.
This man is.
How does he want us to live?
Is he so much better than us?
Yeah. Look at his pictures. It look like he's all well and healthy. Actually, he does look pretty good.
He does. Darn it, he's fit.
Dang
He's a
it.
doctor. Like, don't look at us.
Successful doctor. He's very, his skin looks very
clear.
Yeah, it has a glow about it.
Oh, good for him.
It's all because he's drinking coffee at 10 o'clock and he's not hitting the snooze button.
Well, just find the right time for coffee.
Yeah.
And at least he's saying you can have it. That's better.
Does that mean I can have my first cup of coffee before 8 and then have another one after 9?
Well, it'd be
if
the
I just take a
healthier-
break.
Be the healthier thing for you.
See, some people have a coffee break where they drink coffee. My coffee break is I take a break of drinking coffee between 8 and 9.
Hudson sees the glass as half empty. But get this. He thinks a glass half empty is good. The Riot. RadioU.
If anybody can answer this question for me.
Yeah.
Or I guess this is just a way to get your brain working. Can you tell me, Nikki or anyone else, a movie with a phone booth in it that's not a Superman movie? Because obviously he changes in the phone booth.
Oh, gosh, how weird.
Yeah, because phone booths used to be before cell phones, right? Phone booths were everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal. Oh,
Okay,
like you
I
needed
remember
them.
one.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know why this popped in my mind.
Uh-huh.
I think I saw all of it, or I don't know where, like a clip pulled up on it.
Yeah.
But what's his name? The guy who plays the Penguin in the new movie for Batman.
Colin Farrell?
Okay, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in a movie where it was like there was a phone booth? And like he had
You're going to have to be more specific
I'm
than
getting
that.
there. He had to be in the phone booth, or
Yeah.
someone died, or like he was going to kill like his girlfriend was going to get killed or
Is
something.
this like funny or?
No, it was, I think, more of a suspenseful movie.
Uh-huh.
I'll look it up, but I thought that had a phone booth in it.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
Well,
but
I
it
think it's
sounds like that'd be
something someone does.
a nice dark comedy where you can't.
Why don't they?
You can't leave the phone booth. You can't stop talking on the phone, or somebody you love will die.
Pretty much. Okay, so I Googled Colin Farrell phone booth.
Yeah.
And it was called phone booth.
I guess that's probably why it came into your head then.
It was from, let's see, what year was that from? 2002. There it is.
Yep, there it is. And
I thought of one.
look at this. Texts are coming in. Jim has a good one. Matrix. I think there's a phone booth, not just in the Matrix movie, although I need to rewatch that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure there's a phone booth in the trailer for the new one.
Maybe.
So maybe phone booths are going to make a comeback.
Jason said, yes, the movie was phone booth with Colin Farrell, and he was being blackmailed.
Oh, lots of people are texting in phone
William
booth.
said, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. They had one.
Is that? No, wait, I'm thinking of Doctor Who where they travel in the phone booth, right?
Is that a TARDIS? Is the TARDIS a phone booth?
It is, isn't it?
I think so. I've never
I've never seen Doctor Who either. But, you see the merchandise and it's usually that
It
thing.
looks like one.
Yeah.
Pardon me if
Does
I
that
assumed.
count? John says the Blues Brothers. Oh, I love the Blues Brothers.
So that works.
Yeah. I don't know how people are bringing these up in their head. Because, I know probably every movie that was made before, but takes place between 1950 and 1990 probably has a phone booth in it, and I just can't picture any of them.
Jason says Kingsman does. David says Anchorman.
Yes, that is a great scene.
That's the one?
Yes, I'm in a glass case of emotion.
He found
Yes,
one.
there we go.
There's
I
one that
remember
Hudson
that. I
knows.
remember that. Yeah, so I have a reason I brought this up, and it's probably worth just saying real quick. There's a town in Cope, Colorado, where they don't have a lot going on there. It's a small agricultural community east of Denver, and their phone booth went missing, and they're very sad about it.
56 people in the town.
Yeah, and
have a
they're all scared about what happened to their beloved phone booth.
They have a post office and 2 churches, and I think that's it. And they had a phone booth.
And
Did it work?
That was their claim to fame was the phone booth.
Oh, man. And someone stole it.
They never hooked it up, they said.
It was just there. It was like, any other town, it would be like an art piece.
Yeah, it was ornamental. They said, they never hooked it
was
up
a
because,
novelty.
the cost is too much, especially with everybody having their cell phones. But they were really proud of their phone booth, and now it's gone.
I love it. They actually, in the article, they describe it. They say the side of the booth said telephone. Like, in case you wouldn't know what it is.
A lot of people now, you wouldn't, if you haven't seen the Anchorman or Phone Booth or the Blues
the
Brothers,
movies.
you wouldn't know what a phone booth is. So,
Oh, don't steal the town's thing, guys.
What do you think? Do you think somebody actually stole it intentionally, or you think?
Sure.
No, I think somebody crashed into it or something,
And then took it
they
with
did
them?
like a pretty elaborate, like a pretty good cleanup job.
No, someone stole it.
Well,
It's
what
a
are they going to
thing.
do with a phone booth?
You put it in your house.
What?
You
It's not going to
put-
fit in your house.
Yes, you can make it fit.
No.
I think people
in
eventually
your
find
garage,
out.
maybe.
In your garage.
In your
Don't
gar-
bring it in. Then you just take the door off and then
Yeah.
just bring the phone booth in.
Yeah, so that's sad. If you see a phone booth out there, it's probably the one from Cope, Colorado.
They would like it
'Cause,
back.
yeah, why
It doesn't
else would you
work,
see a phone booth?
But they really miss it.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. Radio U.
You know how toilets work in zero gravity, right?
Flush the other way. It doesn't flush at all.
Flushes the other way. In space, right? There's no
No
gravity.
one hears you scream, so that's fine.
So toilets are very important. They have to be different there. There's no water involved as far as I mean, there might be a little bit, but it's not like you just can sit down and do your business, right?
Does it suck everything out into space then and just shoots it out?
I don't think it goes out into space, although there's plenty of room out there, so why not, right?
You think they're doing that the right way?
I think there's a canister somewhere
to space.
Yeah, that they shoot out. They're just
they're not emptying it.
If we shoot it out of here, we'll never have to deal with it.
That's right.
Well, on one of the recent SpaceX missions, the SpaceX Inspiration 4, it went off last week. It just returned on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And they say everything went smoothly on the space flight, except they had an issue with the facilities.
Oh, so this was the one where it was the all-civilian crew?
Yes, that's correct.
And the toilet had the problem?
So they had no preparation for this. They had no idea what they were getting into. Sure, they got some beautiful views of Earth from the sky, but what they didn't realize was that the toilet was going to malfunction on them, and we don't know exactly what happened, but what we do know is that the suction fan stopped working, which I imagine means...
Is necessary.
Oh, for sure. And so when you're in zero gravity, if there's nothing to suck the waste when you do your business,
it stays there.
It just sits there, but it doesn't just. Again, it's not like it's just it's yellow, let it mellow type situation. There's no gravity, so it must be just floating about, right?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I mean, surely the lid is tight on the toilet.
Do you think they could just seal the lid? But what about when the next person needs to go in?
You don't. You hold it. How long was it?
3
was it
days. 4 days. That's nothing.
For 3 days? You've not been on a road trip.
Maybe the spacesuits are absorbent.
All I know is, can you imagine? Like, all right, here's your space bag. Go in the other room.
You can just go into a bag.
Don't peek. Don't look at me. I've been screaming that the whole time. Don't look at me. Turn around. That seems like that's
what if you miss or something?
Aren't they supposed to wear diapers if you're an astronaut or something?
I think in this case you'd have to. I hope they brought some extras.
Gosh, that is.
If the toilet's not working,
I don't
you got to
love
get
space
creative.
that much. I don't love anything that much to have to deal with that.
There's a lot of reasons. Even I am not that interested in going to space, and this is. I thought it would be lower down the list, but once you start thinking about it, there's no good way to go to the bathroom in space.
Well, to me, I would think of like the thing like an apartment, a small one. So I'd be like, all right, well, that's the one toilet. Where's the half bath? Because I'm sure there's a second toilet.
I mean,
somewhere.
there was only like 5 people up there.
You need to have more than one toilet.
I don't know. I think when you have enough diapers to go around, space diapers, you just throw those on, and you get one toilet, and then when the toilet malfunctions, you just all have to make do.
Dude, here if the toilet malfunctions, you're like, well, I'm going home now. Bye, guys.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
To remember for this story that I think other countries are on more of a different timeline when it comes to COVID-19 and their lockdowns and going back to work at the office and stuff like that. Because this survey is taken from the UK, where they're asking people about returning to the office.
Yeah.
And I know, actually, I've talked to several people recently that say they've only partially returned to the office in the US, where maybe they'll go a day or two a week, and then more than likely they still work from home a lot of the time.
Well, it seems like a lot of bigger companies had said like last month and this month would be the return or the partial return. And then by this point, then they were saying, no, maybe never.
Yeah, maybe never. maybe next year. We'll
ask us again.
Yeah. Well, in the UK, they're talking to people. This is a survey of about 2,000 people done by The Gut Stuff, where they're specifically asking people about returning to work, going to the bathroom. And what they found was that about 18% said their most important concern going back to the office is going to the bathroom at the office.
Because they're not comfortable anymore?
Yes, that is what they do not want to go. They like working from home. They're concerned about going back to work at the office because they don't want to go to the bathroom there.
They have a home schedule now?
Yeah, home toilet advantage, some might say. And that's a big one. I'm with them on that. Some of the other numbers they found were pretty interesting. that this is a little wild. They said that 18% of those surveyed would actually hold it in all day.
Oh, and then just go to the bathroom at home.
And wait to go to the bathroom at home.
Sure.
That's going to make your day even longer, man.
Unless you can take a lunch and like sneak home.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think you'd be able to focus on actually getting any work done. But you couldn't admit that. You'd be like, hey, Jim, I noticed your numbers are really down.
Yeah.
And Jim couldn't be like, well, my mind's been on something else every day.
It's just you don't want to go to the bathroom at work anymore.
Right. You can't admit that. They said, now this is crazy. 53% of people admitted that they will leave work to find somewhere else to go to the bathroom peacefully.
I think it depends on your workplace.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a downtown area, but would you really rather go to the bathroom in a McDonald's or a Starbucks than at your own work? You're still in a public bathroom.
Yeah, I guess it all just depends.
There might be people around you don't know as well, but if Starbucks sees you coming in every day, then those employees will start to get to know you.
Well, that's when you need to start getting a job at Starbucks.
And we know the baristas are already so judgmental, it seems anyways, that they're going to start like taking TikToks of, look at this guy. He comes in to use the bathroom every day, doesn't order anything.
They're saying that you should be vocal about this. If this is a problem with you going back to work, because you got used to home life where you didn't have to get dressed during the day and you could just go to the bathroom anytime you wanted to. They say that employees and employers have a responsibility to make sure the health and well-being of the team is supported for the back to work transition, and that encourages people to be comfortable with the bathroom setup at your work.
Can't you just imagine like a corporate whatever entity and they're getting ready to invite the employees back to the office a few days a week, and so they have to have like a Zoom webinar about just work wellness and and it's okay to go to the bathroom at work. There's no judgment about and it's bad for our numbers, bad for your health.
Well, it depends. Like if you're like punishing it, then you need to go home.
Yeah,
don't do that at work.
I don't know. I guess let me put it this way.
Don't tell us the story. I don't want to hear anything.
It's not a story. It took me a long time to get comfortable using the bathroom
I don't want to hear
in public.
That. Yeah, okay.
A lot of growing up before I was comfortable with that, but I'm still not 100% comfortable at work because you just don't know what people are thinking. And that's what's crazy to me about leaving work to go to the bathroom, because then I mean, it would be the same anxiety of what if people are seeing me leave, and what if they know, like I'm just randomly leaving? They know what I'm doing.
Actually, no, we had to tie this into yesterday's conversation. We talked about the Steelers fan that was caught washing his pants at the Steelers game because he went in his pants, and fans were like, dude, that's awesome. Like he was there. So you'll just have a lot more of situations like that.
Yeah. And that's what we don't want. That if we can avoid that, that's the idea.
Store at room temperature? Now that they can do. The Riot RadioU.
They look just like the donuts we tried last week with the apple cider glaze.
But they smell so much better.
They do smell better, but they look exactly the same. Like they look exactly the same.
I think they actually look a lot drier. And I don't know if maybe there's more glaze on this one, but these look like it looks like it has a thicker glaze, but it might just be maybe they were just sitting around.
All right. So which one do you want to try first?
Do you have the list of what they are? Or is it the same as the apple? We're just replacing
I think it's the same. It's probably the exact same. Just maple.
So we have the maple glazed cake. That's the cake one. We have just the regular maple glaze, and then the one with the stripes is the maple glazed filled with maple cream. So it's a double dose of maple.
This seems to be your passion here. What do you pick? What do you want to try?
Well, let's just start with the simple maple glaze first.
The normal one?
Yeah. Okay. That'll give us a good baseline for what to expect.
Maple, here we go.
It smells immaculate.
So these are the Krispy Kreme maple glazed donuts that are out this
week. Oh, my goodness.
You like it?
Instantly.
You love it?
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Better than any of the apple ones we've had.
I don't know about that.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
It's a good glaze, but it's maple. All right.
Maple is glazes were made for maple.
Actually, Hudson said that. Last week, we're like, how many donuts do you think you'll end up actually eating? Because we take bites out of things, but it doesn't mean we eat the whole thing.
Sure. We're very wasteful.
You might actually eat all these.
I guarantee if that's any indication, I'm finishing that donut. And how could these other ones be any worse?
So the next one, you want to do the cake donut? We'll just go in the same order. We try the other ones. The cake ones always fool you from Krispy Kreme. We think they're a lot heavier, like denser tasting.
I mean, this one feels really heavy.
This one feels so heavy, just like the last one did. And the last one I thought wasn't going to be good, but it was actually okay. So I have higher expectations for this one.
It's lighter than you think.
Cake donuts aren't usually my forte.
Me either.
But when it's maple...
When it's maple, it's different.
You'll love that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How happy are you? That one's good.
That one's even better than the last.
That one's actually way better than the last one.
Oh, it's so good. Although that one, it's really good. It's not as mapley as the Glazed one. I think the cake kind of...
That one's a thick one.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to take a drink now.
It definitely isn't dry. Like, it looks really dry, but that one is not dry at all.
It's, just say it, it's
that was
moist.
Good. That was very moist.
Moist, so are we...
It's a nice moist maple.
2 out of 3 for the maple glazed from Krispy Kreme that's out this week through Sunday. The last one is the cream filled.
The maple cream filled.
What if this is even better than the last one?
Is that even possible?
It is at this point, I guess. You just love maple so much.
Well, disappointment. I didn't get any of the cream.
Oh, you got to take another bite?
Bad bite.
This one's good, but honestly, it tastes the same. Like the cream one, I can't make a...
There's no, I don't even taste any maple on this one, to be honest.
It's good, though, but that cake donut might be the best.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. This is not materially different from the maple glaze. So.
Gosh, our engineer, Chris, is just like, will you just stop?
It's everywhere.
I'm spilling it everywhere. That was a bad one.
The maple glaze that's on the fingers, which will be on the board in a moment, is email worthy to say stop doing it.
We need to have wipes just
we need baby wipes in here.
He's built in what do you call it?
It's foolproof.
Outlets into the stuff. Like he's built all these different things into the desk. He needs to build a little dispenser for wipes into the desk.
I'm sure there's certain wipes we can and cannot use on the board. But we'll have to find something
better than having maple on the board.
And having maple syrup everywhere.
I won't use that hand as I touch the board, but that was better than I thought. If you like maple, Hudson, then
wait. Was it better than the apple ones from last week?
I don't know about that.
Everything except the cream filled.
Everything except the cream filled?
I thought the cake was better than the apple one last week, but I really liked the apple glazed last week, so I don't know if that was better.
All right, well, now we take a break from donuts.
We're donutted it out.
Yes, especially after I finish these 3.
Now you can eat them all.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I am. What, you want me to eat hot dogs?
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
We just talked a few minutes ago about DoorDash and how they're getting more and more into alcohol delivery. And it just got me thinking that we are so... I hate to say it, and nobody wants to hear this, but we're so spoiled, aren't we?
Sure.
Like we have everything. We don't have to have a lot of patience we don't have to have a lot of patience, and everything is so convenient.
If you need something, it can be with the right amount of money.
Yep.
It'll be right there.
Yep. You DoorDash your alcohol. I want alcohol, and I want it now, and I don't want to leave my house. And all of a sudden, now that's a possibility for you. And even I was thinking about movies. Where it used to be you had to go out, you had to pay a bunch of money to go to the movie theaters, and you had to sit with all these other people, whatever. Now it's just like, I want to watch a new movie, and I want to watch it here at home without all that trouble. And now you can. You have your choice of a million movies to go, right? You never have to be patient, very rarely, and everything is always at the touch of a button. You've got it all. So those few times when things aren't like that, I think it's even more frustrating maybe than it used to be.
I don't think we handle it as well.
No, it's not. When we are dealing with something where the answer isn't right in front of us right away, the resolution isn't right in front of us right away, that's when we really start to lose our cool if we cannot handle it at all.
Might be embarrassing how we react, but we gotta work on that a bit.
Yeah, and so those situations are, I believe, where you most need God, because God doesn't just say, God says he'll give you hope, right? That he's going to, even in your darkest times, that you can hold on to God and he's going to take care of you. But it's more than that, because sometimes we're like, okay, I'm in the darkest times and let's get me right out of here, because we don't have the patience. But sometimes we need patience to wait for stuff, to be like, I know it sucks now, but it might take some time, but things are going to change. Things are going to get better. God's going to give you that too. God's going to teach you how to be patient, to not completely lose your cool when things don't instantly resolve themselves, when things don't instantly work out. It's not just about the hope, the knowing it'll eventually get better. It's being able to handle the wait. Sometimes you're going to have to wait for stuff, but God's going to help you do that. So if you're going through a tough time right now, and you want to not just have the hope that you need, but also the patience to be able to get through it, Jesus is ready to give that to you. Jesus is ready to come into your life and to help you make it until things get better. If you're ready for that, say, hey, God, I want you in my life. I'm going through something tough. I don't want to have to wait. I know it's tough enough to go through it for a few moments. I know I don't want to have to go through it for a while, but if I do, I want you to help me deal with that as well. And he will.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We're all tired, okay? And there's different ways of coping, but one thing you cannot do is call 911 multiple times to report that you're tired. That's not what 911 is for, even though it feels like an emergency sometimes.
I feel like I need more info though, because we want to be compassionate because we're all tired. So
I'm about to say, I would have called a lot of times this morning. I would have been ringing that thing time after time.
You're like, it's Isaiah again. He's calling, but like, why is he calling just to say he's tired?
Well, let's see. His name is Daniel Schroeder. He's from Indiana, 61 years old. And why was he doing it over and over again? Besides, obviously, he was tired. Let's see.
The day before, it said that he was misusing it as well. So he'd already kind of gotten a warning, I think. And then it had to be just out of spite, right?
Well, maybe he was lonely. Like maybe he didn't have anybody else to call. Maybe he was drinking. Maybe he was just tired. Like there's a lot of maybes.
I'm sure he was tired.
Yeah, well, that's a weird thing to make up. I wonder if maybe he was just like so tired that he was kind of out of it.
Yeah.
He had already called 911 the day before. And when you go on your phone, you go and you press the green phone button.
Yeah.
And then it brings up the last phone number you called, and then you press it again. So maybe he just kept doing that.
Maybe it.
He was just trying to call somebody. He didn't really know who because he's just so out of it because he was very weary.
Well, I don't want to look even more into this, but it does say that earlier in his case, he was calling the police to report on a female relative who was not following his rules.
Oh,
Don't want to know about it. So now he'll be serving 6 months in jail, suspended part of the sentence, though, on the condition that he does not call 911 unless it's in an actual emergency.
I think we just need to take his phone away for a while. I think that should be the punishment. Is like, you aren't allowed to make any calls for like a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but you know what would happen? He'd get into a real emergency.
You're right. He'd call 911.
And it'd be like, well, this is all because of this punishment that he's lost his arm because he couldn't call 911.
60 days to stay behind bars, which, oh my gosh.
That's a lot, actually.
I don't want to go to like jail or like prison. Like I know there's differences.
Yeah.
But if there was basically I just want to go to a hotel.
The 911 jail.
I
just want to lay down for a while and just kind of relax.
I wouldn't mind 60 days of catching up on sleep, but he said he was tired.
I feel like that's always been one of my biggest fears too, is like when I'm like messing around with my phone or something, like accidentally dialing 911. I feel like I was like, when I was little, I was worried about like constantly whenever I picked up a phone was like accidentally doing that.
Yeah, I've thought about that too, but have you ever accidentally called somebody with your cell phone?
I have accidentally like in my pocket or something. Pocket dialed. My mom does it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
My mom does it occasionally, or I've had other people call me, but I don't think, as far as I know, if I just totally missed it, I don't think I've ever accidentally dialed out.
Well, you wouldn't
without
know
knowing it,
unless someone stepped up and told you.
Well, you should see.
Yeah.
You would find out eventually, wouldn't you?
Not necessarily if you don't go back and look at your log.
Okay, wait a minute. Think about this. Think about how constantly we're on our phones. You would think we would see if you picked it up and it's like, oh, it's calling somebody.
Hudson. I'm not calling anybody on my phone. I barely touch that part of my phone.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So
I don't look at it.
if your phone was in a call or it was dialing somebody, when you pick it up every 5 seconds, you would catch it if it was doing a butt dial.
But see, my phone locks right away.
Yeah.
So it really is like my parents who would do it. Because I would always ask them, I'd be like, how do you manage to butt dial when your phone locks?
Yeah, I know. That's what I did it before we had like iPhones and stuff. You would like butt dial people. But now that like you have to go through like a passcode, I'm like, how are you even managing to do this right now?
You know what mine does? I don't know if everybody's is like this. You have the lock screen. And then at the bottom of the lock screen, it has the little phone thing. You just slide up, it goes straight to the phone or the camera. But what mine won't, I don't think I've ever accidentally called somebody, but I will find times where my phone, I guess in my pocket or whatever, it brings up, it just slides open and opens the camera and takes pictures of the inside of my butt.
What?
You mean your pocket?
Pocket, yeah.
Your jeans. Clarify.
That's where I keep my phone, in the butt pocket. So
at this point, though, just remember this guy, Daniel, 61, he wasn't accidentally calling the police.
No.
He was on purpose calling 911 to tell them that he was tired.
I wonder what he expected them to do.
He had a lot of free time, I guess. It was a long day.
He should have just taken a nap.
They said, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep.
All this time you spent calling, telling us you were tired, you could have been spent sleeping.
Well, he didn't listen.
No.
And now he'll have 60 days to think about what he did.
Into sleep in jail.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
This is a public service announcement that if you've got kale, throw it away.
Well, it's if you got kale from Kroger.
No, just all kale. Just throw it away. It's gross.
I feel like kale, if you go back a few years ago, like it was a super popular food just to be eating.
It was
even
called
if you
the
didn't like
superfood,
it.
people
It
said.
was.
Yeah.
But especially in the season of apples right now, like it's not as popular as maybe it was, but it's serious. Like they're saying is it Listeria?
Yeah.
And they are doing a recall if you bought it at a certain point from Kroger or their grocery stores.
Yeah, kale is a superfood, and right now its superpower is making you very sick.
Oh, you can't. It's really bad.
Very bad. You do not want to get listeria contamination with your kale. So if you got kale from Kroger or if you got kale that is with the brand name Baker Farms or SEG Grocers or Kroger brand, then you're going to want to throw that away because they say it could be contaminated.
They're saying August 30th through September 1st. But my favorite thing is always the, like every week, say you go grocery shopping, you buy all these fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And you just take the vegetables out of the drawer that you bought last week but didn't eat.
Yep.
And throw them away and then put in the new one. Like you think you're going to eat them.
So you go.
For this, you want to make sure you really don't eat it.
You take your shriveled up kale. Maybe you take it back to the grocery store. Is kale expensive?
I don't.
Like how much you think?
I don't think so, but I think you're just supposed to throw it away.
Not a lot. You want your money back for this. It's not your fault.
I don't know if they give you a refund.
Well, they have to give you a refund.
Are you keeping your receipt or what? They're just going to give you the...
Well, where did you get the kale?
From the grocery store.
What do they think so you stole the kale just so you can go get a refund?
I bet some people do that.
You get your $3.99 back or whatever?
They're refund chasers. So yeah, they go after that.
It'd be a little suspicious. The person walks in and it's like, hey, I heard about this kale recall, and they have like a pallet of kale.
It's not even kale. It's just from outside. You think it looks like kale. You're trying to pass it on.
Yeah, I know this came from here. I had it in my drawer, and it's vaguely leafy looking. I think it could be kale.
They bring weed in. It's kale.
I need a refund. I know it's not labeled, but I think this is contaminated.
If you purchased it, actually, you're supposed to dispose of it, or you can return it to the stores.
Yeah, you should. You should return it and get your You spent hard-earned money on that kale.
I guess I don't keep receipts too often.
This is your chance. You are never going to get anything from that kale in the first place.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.